Yep. Cannot complain, man. Finally got things going. We had some difficulties there in the beginning, but now it's smooth sailing. We've seen some pretty sick matches. We've got to see Dehang and Rafa play, which were missing from last week's qualifier. So it's been a really good night overall, I'd say.
Yeah, so far you get to see, because everybody knows Rafa and Dehang weren't in there last week, so seeing some more of the recognized people, in the bracket's nice, and then a chance for the new up and comers to prove themselves against the old guard. So I'm curious again to see what new names. I think last week we had a UT player, I believe, made it into the top 8 or last week. I think two guys from UT maybe. I know 2 guys almost made it. It's pretty close. So it's nice seeing newer players or people from different types of games coming over to play Quake.
Absolutely. It's going to have that draw. We're going to see new players come out of nowhere that aren't from another game. It's a pretty exciting time for FPS in general. And just so you guys know, they backed out to switch to Ruins. I think, yep, Ruins of Sarnath was supposed to be map number 1. So they're just going to get that set back up. We'll see what they draft. We'll see if we have as interesting a draft as we saw with Roulette and Rafa with that slash opener. That was pretty brutal. I really don't get to see that often, especially on Ruins.
Prepare for draft.
Yeah, I'm surprised you don't. Slash is not bad on maps where you want that movement. So Sarnath isn't too bad, but I'm wondering if that was more of a, Rafa feeling. I don't know how much he's played Slash, or if he feels really confident with her right now, or if that was just more exploratory. I want to see, I've been using her on this map, and I want to see how she performs, in a match as they move through the bracket. I'm not really, I can't comment on what he's thinking, or if that's, if we're going to see that as a typical pick from him as he moves forward.
Yeah, it definitely seems pretty risky on paper, and yeah, I'll just leave it at that. It seems risky on paper, but hey, maybe he develops it into part of his draft lineup that he's well known for. You never know. Maybe people pick it up. The meta's still being developed. Champions and maps are still being balanced. We've seen some major changes to clutch and weapons like the nail gun and machine gun, just projectiles in general. So this game is still improving. So we'll just have to see. But maybe we have glimpsed the future of Slash play.
I expect to see some good stuff from Waz here. I know he's played a lot of Quake Live and Quake Live Duel, so he's an experienced player, and we should expect to see some good things from him right here. I'm not too familiar with MDO, so I can't really comment what can I expect from on his side of things. But Waz, I know, is a solid player. So
excellent. Well, getting right into it with this double anarchy, that's a lot of movement speed to start off with. These guys are going to be able to get around the map in just a few seconds flat, so looking forward to some pretty sick skirmishes that only last 1 or 2 rockets or rails, and then they've got to back off. Okay. That was a pretty good use of his ability in terms of timing, being able to like counter with damage, use your ability, and then sort of get away, maybe get some CDR hourglasses or just get stack going. This seems like a pretty decent start for Waz in terms that he's like reading the other anarchy. He's reading how MDO is going to play this mirror.
He's a little fortunate. That second rail took him down to, I think it was 5 health or less. He used it so quick, his ability. He was really low though, so just got to be careful charging into those engagements when you've already been railed once as anarchy. Waz.
Yep, definitely. I mean, just one MG bullet, just one hit, even with armor, I think would have spelled his death there. So,
oh,
wow, dude.
MDO really had a he should be able to get. He had an opportunity there because he backed off to reanimate. He really could have finished. I thought Waz was caught off guard because he shot the rail and he had the reload timer, so he really couldn't do anything. If he would have just went in there and finished him with a machine gun, that would have been a kill right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he could have finished him with anything right there. It's just, I know it's tough to do that because the pressure situation of the match and you're trying to work through the bracket, but that was a killing opportunity he just missed.
Yeah, I see that a lot with anarchies because of how you need to play that champion. You're not a brawler. But so often do I see the guaranteed kill given up because they just made a slight miscalculation or they didn't realize exactly how much of an advantage they had in that next 2 or 3 seconds. I'm sure they'll get it dialed in soon though. Yep, I was about to say that fight is definitely going to end in a kill, and Waz is able to convert it using that railgun off the rocket. pretty much the classic combo. One of the surefire ways to kill an Anarchy is to put some rocket and rail damage on him, because he does have that really limited pool. Very small stack we've been talking about.
Oh, good railing. Good railing. Yeah, he had him. Once he hit that first one, you saw his reposition the mouse to the exit, right? Because you know the player wants to get out of there, and it's a good follow-up rail.
Absolutely. It was off cooldown, by the way. Perfectly off cooldown. So seemed like he knew exactly what he wanted to do and made it happen. And then, yep, kind of off the spawn, catching the Nyx out open in the eyeball room. Top mega, whatever you want to call it.
Prepare to fight.
I even like the patience there. You know, he jumped off. He got railed. You know, Waz. A lot of people would panic in that situation because they're low, but he just turned around, took his time, knew his opponent. You know, had a long reload timer on that shot, and just placed the rocket well and got the kill. Very well done. Very well done.
Yeah, definitely a lot of discipline going into decisions and plays like that. I'm surprised Waz made it out of that. Honestly.
It was good. Yeah, very good disengage for him to get out of there.
Almost catches him on the portal. Ooh, tough break.
Misread by Waz. Good capital, you know, MDO. Came down the hall. Waz didn't expect. I think he expected him to drop from the top there, which is why he came through the hallway like that and got hit from the blind side there on his left.
Yeah, I think it's definitely more common for players to drop down rail or even go all the way over to jump pad there. But MDO was happy to just stroll down the hall.
Good rail.
Ooh. If you can cut him off here. Some unfortunate misses for Waz, but it'll give him an opportunity to back up, get the high ground, come over here for Mega, which he did get. And somehow snaps a rail.
Yeah, Waz has got to be careful running around those corners with the railgun the way he is.
Yeah, especially right
great
there.
shooting. I mean, great shooting, but man, he's got to be careful. And, you know, as he moves through the bracket, you know, running through like that and running into, you know, to Hang or a Roth or somebody else with that gun out like that, and he's gonna get punished with some rockets or LG. This is great railing by him right now. MDO, I would imagine, is thinking, oh no, and because when somebody starts lining you up for multiple rails in a row, it definitely affects your psyche and how you're going to make your decisions. So,
yeah, absolutely. I was just about to bring that up. Actually, the difference in certain weapons and how demoralizing it is to get railed, because it's not something you can really react to. You feel particularly helpless, and yeah, so you would agree then that it is one of the more demoralizing ways to get wrecked in this game.
Oh, absolutely. It's definitely you know, it feels punishing. You know, you're just getting, it's instant 80 damage, 90 damage if they're zoomed. So it's punishing, and 2 in a row is, oh, what a read.
Yeah.
What a read.
Yeah, that was, I don't know. I think Waz just putting on the pressure that way, you know, and you can see it in his, geez, I almost want to call it recklessness of, like you're saying, flying around the map like that with a rail out. But he's just so aggressive, and I think he's just overpowering MDO at this point. I think it's just really just raw speed and just trying to force his hand, and Waz is kind of just hedging his bets that he'll come out ahead more often than not in these fights.
Well, MDO's, I mean, he's moving around really well, but I wonder sometimes, and I see this from a lot of Anarchy players who are up and coming, is the difficulty slowing it down when they need to, because you got to be, like I said, you really have to be careful running around the corners with Anarchy and getting caught with rockets. He's really not, he's not a, you know, I'm going to dive in with rockets kind of, you know, he wants to limit, you know, get you low first and whittle you, and then if you can charge him with rockets, then do it, you know, later when you have an advantage. But I just think it's very dangerous territory getting in a rocket battle with Anarchy.
Absolutely. I think 100% he's a skirmisher. He peeks in and out of battles. He gets a mathematical advantage, and then maybe he can take risks by showing his face in a fight. But until you know that you're ahead, ooh, that was just a nice, that was just a good place to put a rocket. It's so easy to put it into the wall there, or just maybe fire it straight down and be less effective. No, he really saw the path of Ranger's fall there.
Yeah, Waz is really in a groove right now. He's gonna finish this guy.
Wow. See,
There.
great rocket.
Wow.
Yeah.
Win.
That's just a little showing off there. A little Waz with a little highlight shot. You know, a rocket jump off the wall and switch to rail and hit. That was just excellent play. Excellent play. Excellent play. Good stuff, Waz. Good stuff.
I think he might be warmed up by now, you know? It's looking like it. Blood Covenant, man. Okay. So I think I've seen like Blood Run and Blood Covenant, basically, you know, one of them every match. And then I've seen Ruins like twice tonight, I think. Yeah, wow.
Yes. That was pretty much annihilation there. That's just the only way to put it.
Well, when you go into that anarchy like mirror at the very beginning, yeah, I think you have to sort of accept the fact that your match might not go very long.
I don't know. MDO's definitely got to make some adjustments, get his confidence back. You know, thinking about that match with Waz. Waz was really on top of him, was really reading his movements, especially towards the end. I don't know if the pressure that Waz was putting on MDO really, you know, I've mentioned before how it can get to you mentally and psychologically. It can really break you down during the course of a match, and you know, you start making mistakes and mental errors that you normally wouldn't do because you know the pressure's just getting to you, right? And I feel pressure. I don't mean just mental pressure in terms of, oh, it's QuakeCon tournament, that kind of pressure. I mean the in-game pressure, like, wow, this guy's really good, or oh my gosh, I can't believe it hit that shot. And then you start making these adjustments that, you know, it really is game affecting.
Absolutely. You start thinking about things that you normally wouldn't be thinking about. Normally you'd be thinking like, okay, I need to transition to this part of the map. I need to force his hand. But instead, you're sitting there thinking like, wow, did he really just like get 2 impressives in a row on me off spawn? Like, you know, just sort of waste your time, so to speak. It eats up your brain power when you could be strategizing. When you could be thinking about how to crush your opponent.
So I'm wondering, let's see how it starts here. Waz was looking really strong. Again, he has a Quake Live background, so he's going to be, you know, this map is familiar to him, to say the least. Even with the changes, so. Yeah, it's very familiar to him.
And I love seeing this map remade. You know, I love seeing Blood Run as well, obviously, ZTN. But I do say, like, when I first heard about Quake Champions and I first sort of started getting involved here, I had this like bias against maps that I already knew, but I'm quickly starting to realize that the newer maps, I'm like falling in love with them. So I'm really looking forward to seeing more lock boxes and keeps and stuff.
Yeah, I definitely enjoy Corrupted Keep. It's a fun map.
It's very cool design concept. So early
Ranger.
start here, yeah.
Ranger versus Anarchy. I like Ranger here with all the elevation changes.
Absolutely, and the mega start feels, you know, pretty good. Ooh. So he gets 62 on a rocket. That's pretty good, but he's in rail range. And now they both are, as MDO picks up a rail of his own. I'm going to switch it over to Waz here right quick and see if he's going to be able to avoid Doom.
Yeah, a little too obvious there by MDO. When you pick up that armor out there by the rail jump pad, it's just standard play. Waz had the rockets waiting for him at that entrance. He's lucky that didn't end up worse for him, actually.
Ooh, that's a risky move. Like, MDO's got to be really confident to get over to the mid jump pad and just get up there. Because if you're too exposed for even a second, you're losing 100 hit points, like worst case, maybe more.
Yeah, he's got to work on his decision making, I think, a little bit after watching, as I'm analyzing and kind of watching him play longer. I mentioned before, I've never seen him play before. Even there at the mega, once he got that hit on him, he needed to get out of there. Even here, he's going to a mega, the heavy armor area. When he's just respawned, he's only got a rail, and you just pick up the rocket. But like this battle right here is foolish, very foolish.
Yeah. And you can see it by moves like that. Waz can just sort of casually rocket jump over the bridge, and that's, I think, when MDO starts to realize like how outmatched he was in that particular engagement.
It took Waz a little bit to kill him there, but again, it was just poor decision making. You don't want to be there right after a death, challenging for that major item like that. I was a nice rail there. Like his movement's really on point. It's just sometimes, like I said, I think he really needs to focus on where he's going and why he's doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. And he does a good job of like not being surprised or, yeah, I guess just surprised by where his opponent is. But I do feel like he could be predicting it a little bit better and lining up his shots before he comes around the corner. Was that a gauntlet attempt? Or I don't know. It looked like he had his gauntlet out for a second. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Waz, it's Anarchy coming around the corner into a rocket, and then he ate a follow-up, and that's it. You're toast. Full stack, gone.
Yep. Yeah, you pretty much evaporate on Anarchy. Which is really satisfying if you're playing against the Anarchy. Really frustrating if you are the Anarchy.
MDO's in a bad spot. He needs to get above rail health, above rail armor. There you go. He's a little safer now.
He's bought himself a little bit of time, but not much. Just anything here. Ooh, didn't see him Catacombs, I don't think. Oh, maybe he did. Yeah, he's looking mid. Like, he definitely saw him. So Waz is kind of, I don't want to say he's just like giving up map control, but he doesn't seem to be in any particular rush when he sees MDO going for heavy armor and things like that. Do you think he just recognizes how much faster Anarchy is than him?
Well, you don't want to just go chasing somebody, especially not an Anarchy. I think he was more concerned with just kind of keeping a stack up and running the items. Just kind of, recovering after that death, stabilizing, getting an arsenal. MDO's really running back and forth really fast right now, so if Waz is smart, which he is, I'm sure he's just trying to lay a decent trap for him. One good shot on the Anarchy coming in, and you're looking to finish him. So I'd just be looking to lay a trap right now if I'm Waz.
Yeah, well, he's only got one rocket, worth noting. And that was it. But with an LG like that, woo!
That was
What
foolish.
a hectic fight.
I don't know if Waz should have dropped down like that, especially with the mega up. He could have taken his time.
Yeah, that I think that was an error on the orb as well.
I know what he was saying. I mean, he obviously had him on the ropes, but dropping straight down like that with an LG is not the best way to maximize how you're coming in at somebody with that gun.
I love seeing that air move where the Anarchy like comes out back above your head, back out towards the pool, and you're just like, wait a second, can't aim that high.
Round begins in 3, 2.
This is a good matchup, though.
Round.
I will say that these guys seems a little more even here on Covenant. I think MDO is a little more suited to this particular map.
Even here, he's again. This is recognizing your weapon selection. He may get out of this. Oh,
wow!
He may get out of this with great railing, but just recognizing that all he had was a rail, he's really fortunate he got out of that, because coming around the corner and open the map, all he had was a rail. He ran into a lightning gun. And, I mean, a railgun's nice, but you really need other weapons to back it up to really make it, to make it shine, I guess.
Yeah, I would love to see the stats on that starting weapon, like how quickly you die with just a rail versus a rail and a lightning gun, or a rail, lightning gun, and rocket. I'm sure the numbers would tell the tale.
Great ambush by MDO, and then coming out of the portal with the second rail. Unfortunately, he doesn't really have timing on anything, so Waz is right back up.
Yeah, he almost doesn't care, right? He eats 2 good shots, and he's like, well, that's fine. I'm just about to go be full stacked again, whatever.
Good rocket play. I don't know if MDO maybe made a miscalculation, thinking after all the damage he did that he was somehow low. It looked like he was really aggressive on LG there, but good rocket play by Waz.
Yeah, it's like he didn't expect him to have gotten heavy armor over there.
Oh, that's he should have known it was up, so
yeah.
He didn't grab it, somebody else did. And there's only one other person on the map, so
yeah, I think that's just like one of those little oversights, maybe just a little too like stressed or fatigued. Match starting to get to him, or maybe honestly just thought it wasn't up for another 10 seconds. I'm not sure.
And and little things. Oh, Waz has got him low right now. You should just easy finish. Oh, I'm surprised it didn't.
Yep, I like that splash just so you can pick up a little bit more mega.
Impressive.
It's kind of needless because it's more important on the armor that won't overcharge you. But I like seeing it as just a habit. Splashing yourself to ensure you get the pickups.
I like that aggressive rocket jump by Waz there. That's just good. Good. You can tell he's been experienced to Oh, he just missed that though. Recognizing spawn points, possible spawn points after a kill. So I like that kind of play. 'Cause getting a spawn frag, especially in this game, with only a 3 frag limit, is just huge. So if you can make a good aggressive play after a kill and get 2 for 1, you're probably looking at a good round for yourself.
Yeah, spawn kills feel much more devastating in this format than they did in a traditional duel.
Oh, definitely. With only 3 deaths.
Soul crushing, really, because it's just based on champion as well. So what if you get spawn killed on your best champion? Things like that, it can really tilt you instantaneously, whereas 1 death on a spawn might not be that big of a deal to you. But it's a very different beast here. And you're just stuck on the wall.
Well, challenging for heavy armor, and he really wasn't in position to have a long fight over, and then trying to escape down those stairs. It's really rough.
Yeah, and trying to fight from those stairs is even worse. Huh. MDO backing off. Waz was really low there. I feel like MDO could have... I don't ever want to say, like, push the stairs and fight on the stairs, because that's an awful idea, but he might have actually made it work there. Maybe he was just smarter to pull away and try to set up some timings here.
Oh, good idea. Yeah.
Cool, so fast. And so aware too, not leaving anything to chance, making really tight turns, very aware that someone is gunning for him the whole time. I think it's too easy for most Anarchy players. One of the big mistakes they make is they're too lazy. They don't take full advantage of how insane their movement and air move is. And they just kind of get lazy. They give up easy rails. But this movement coming out of MDO is kind of the opposite. Sense of urgency.
Gotta make the move. Got 30 seconds up. The move was made by Waz instead.
Yep. But hey, that's kind of how you have to do it at the end of the day. You're down by Anarchy. You just have to find that good engagement, right? You're not necessarily gonna strong arm your way into a favorable encounter with any other champion, basically, unless you whittle him down, at first, like we've been talking about, that skirmisher style. But he just couldn't make that happen to begin with. But now, round 3, we see the Anarchy mirror coming back out. Pretty damn entertaining, if I do say so myself, the Anarchy mirror. I'm liking it more and more.
Oh, it's definitely a fun class to watch. The movement's great, but I want to see here. It's a great shot by MDO. He's look to follow up right now.
Every rocket and rail.
Oh, he had position. He dropped down. He had position. He had high ground, and he dropped down into that. Just for those who are newer, he had good high ground. The rocket launcher. That's where he wanted to be. He could have kept punishing Waz with the rockets, and just taking care to make sure you don't get railed. Just peek over here and there if he tries to hot swap to you. But little poor decision making by MDO to drop down like that.
I think just a little overconfidence. Maybe a misread, but yeah, either way, not very positive.
Nice fake by Waz. He faked one way, came back hard the other. By the time MDO shot a rocket towards a shotgun and looked back, it was too late. Waz was already coming around the corner, shooting rockets of his own. It's good redirection there. I like plays like that. It shows Waz is really thinking, and just trying to read MDO. Like, that's a big part of the game. Everybody gets so caught up in running items. You got to read where your guy is.
Absolutely. I feel like that's something that Waz is pretty much got completely dialed in at this point in this matchup. And we've pointed out several times that MDO doesn't have any timings. That's because Waz is just reading the situation better every single time, I think.
Yeah, wonderful aim, MDO. He hits some of these wonderful flick shots. He's got some work to do on the mental aspect of Duel. Definitely extremely talented, though.
Absolutely. And you know, this could be like a new player. This could be some guy that's never played Quake, and a month from now, he'll be blowing our minds. He'll be demolishing to hang or something. You know? Just can't wait.
That's those stairs. He hit him with good rockets and came down with a rocket launcher on him when he's trying to go down those steps, which you can't really, if you try to stop yourself going down go back up the steps, the momentum of going down the steps really messes with your movement in this game. So it's not a good area to be in.
No, absolutely not. And it's not wide enough for you to really dodge anything. So any rockets just anywhere are going to affect your movement and obviously do damage. And it's just a terrible place to fight. Always will be, I think.
I like that play by Waz. He wasn't in position to challenge. Just let him pick it up and get a little poke rail in there and come fight, be in good position for Mega. And now he's in the power spot now. That guy's not going to come for him.
Yeah, no way. Not after taking a rail to the foot.
But this is a good illustration of how you're getting control back. I mean, Waz is going to take this heavy armor now. But you see, he did the poke rail, heavy armor, ran off, got better position for the next item. So, the other guy's going to have to push in, and he'll have a defensive advantage. Nice play. Good shooting. Waz looking sharp. Looking sharp.
He definitely is. Very impressed.
Very, very calm the way he goes about his business. I like it.
I was just about to comment that he's very, very disciplined in his movements. So, yeah.
For MDO, I would think he just needs to slow down the anarchy a little bit. There are times he's kind of coming around corners where if he would have taken more care with the engagement, with how he's going to approach his opponent, he could have done significantly better, I think. And just trying to get a read on his opponent. His movement is fantastic. If MDO rewatches this, so I'm kind of talking directly to him, but his movement's fantastic with anarchy. He just needs to make sure that, like I said, the movement is with a purpose. Where are you going and why, and where is your opponent? It shouldn't just be moving for the sake of moving fast. That's the wrong reason. So just wanted to put that out there for him. But great movement and great play by Waz. It's a tough opponent for MDO. He said Waz has definitely got experience, and you can tell he's been putting in the work and Duel in this game. That's for sure.
Absolutely, and I think that's that advice definitely applicable to a lot of people that are trying to get into this. Just be patient. You got to put in the time. You got to recognize your own strengths and weaknesses. And it's really easy to be impatient,
In this game, yeah, patience is a big factor, especially if somebody's trying to slow play you, because it can get frustrating. Somebody's spoiling the game. Oh, he's making it so unfun. He's running away all the time, and you can't think like that. You just got to play your game and think, why is he able to run away? It's because, well, you're probably not putting yourself in better position to get that frag. So just try to make the adjustment and do your best.
Absolutely. And if you want to compete at QuakeCon, you got to bring it together here in the next few weeks. If you're going to make it to QuakeCon 2017, it's coming up in a little bit more than a month. I'm sure we're all very excited. It's QuakeCon. How are you not excited? I don't believe you if you aren't, so don't even bother.
I want to play, man. I want to play so bad, but it's okay. I'm having fun doing the casting bit as well. But it would be fun just to throw my hat in the arena again, and just like Unholy was doing, it's get the experience, feel the atmosphere a little bit. But yeah. It's good. It's good anyway.
I'm gonna see you wearing a disguise over in the Biok or something.
Maybe. I don't know. I was thinking it might be a little... I was trying to see how I could pull it off, but it might be a little hard to play my game while casting somebody else's game at the same time. That might come across a little weird when I start talking about what's going on in the game.
Oh my gosh. That would be incredible, though. I think if you can make that work, that would make you really strong team player. Cast while you play? That's just efficiency right there, man.
Yeah, I'll cast somebody else's game. I'll watch somebody else's game while also somehow winning a duel of my own. Now that's classy.
Yeah,
that's like playing 20 people at chess at the same time, right?
Yep. That would be the Quake equivalent, I think. Yes. All right. So it looks like So, by the way, is there a consensus on how to play, how to say ScizR's name?
ScizR.
Is it just ScizR? Okay.
It's just ScizR.
Cool. I remember reading that in chat last week, and I kind of just blanked out on what we all agreed to on the internet.
But I think I should call him ScizR. It seemed like there was some support for ScizR.
Yeah, there was the back and forth.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Didn't we see both of these guys last week make like a really strong showing?
Yeah, ScizR and Sane both had a nice week last week. So I'm curious who's going to win this match. Actually, this is interesting. I thought Sane had some work to do. I noticed, once somebody got him off his anarchy, there's a little bit of a drop off, I think, in his confidence of play. So I'm wondering if he's made some adjustments during the week and really focused on that, and maybe some of his backup champions are just as strong now. And ScizR, I'm sure he's gonna come back strong. He had a tough loss to Aerobucks last week, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, well, we're gonna start for real this time, and we will have to see if Sane has been able to overcome his need for speed. Maybe he's been able to make some more strategic draft choices.
Prepare for draft.
On Ruins of Sarnath, our first map. Later in the night, seeing that as the first map, instead of the Blood Covenant Blood Runs back-to-back that I had earlier tonight. So this is a nice little change of pace.
I'm looking at the pics here. I like Visor. I definitely like Visor here, for sure, because of the vision.
It's a big enough map to make it really valuable. Really worth it. Plus,
so
he's got a good starting stack.
I think we can make a safe assumption that Sane's going to go with Anarchy off the bat. I'm wondering what ScizR decides, though.
I think he's right to go Ranger here.
Kicking a man when he's down, that's pretty low.
Honestly, I feel like Ranger's just sort of a good pick almost any time, especially if you're uncertain. Really good starting mobility, starting stack. Dire Orb's an incredible ability, so just a good all-around pick.
Definitely like the ability of Visor for what Sane's running right now, because he's going to start with Anarchy, and he may even go with Nyx as the second pick. So having Visor out there, it's good to set an ambush on a fast-moving Anarchy and get yourself a kill, and two, it's a good Ghost Walk counter. So
3, 2,
let's see what happens.
round 1, fight.
Tune in this week. All right, so the heavy armor spawn going in the favor of ScizR. I think I'm just going to stick on his POV and get X-ray to work, if it would please. Wow, kind of a gutsy. I don't know if he just didn't see him over there by Little Armor, but
he didn't realize that was a mistake. He obviously didn't realize he was going up to that jump pad into an LG stream. He's fortunate to get away.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Stopwatch.
So both major items are pretty much on the same timer. So again, it's who's gonna force somebody off of their item and be able to separate them and start running things. I think it's really effective against the Nyx if you separate the item timers, because of her low stack and her Ghost Walk ability has to come back up. If you force Nyx to get into multiple engagements like over and over again, the Ghost Walk timing is not going to work out for her.
Absolutely, and she can't she can't have a big enough stack to really survive open brawls in between Ghost Walks. So, for those of you that are probably like, X-ray, 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 I promise you, I'm hitting the hotkey for it. So, hopefully that'll come up here soon. Might just jump around POVs if it doesn't, though, so we can keep an eye on everything. I must say, this is like the first match I've seen today, at least, that had an Anarchy that was this slow, I want to say.
ScizR's
slow.
ScizR's got the better. Oh, okay, no, Sane made a quick. You recognize? Okay, ScizR went there to read him. I was like, who's gonna go for this heavy armor here? Because it's coming up.
Wow. Nice rocket. I feel like he had that rocket going before the Dire Orb even appeared.
Scissor's in good shape right now. I mean, Sane is really doesn't been able to get anything, so all Scissor needs is one good lead-in shot. He can really go in for a kill here.
10,
Ah, there we go. Wow, 14 health, standing his ground as though he's full stacked. I like it. That confidence.
Foolish
Yeah.
weapon selection, man. Scissor's sitting there at 14 health, and Sane's trying to run around a corner and rail him. You know, he could have easily got the kill there.
Absolutely, but you know, does some of that come down to how Scissor stood his ground? Do you think maybe it made Sane think like, oh, this guy's not, you know,
Absolutely
3
not.
MG shots? Absolutely.
Absolutely not. That was just, even though I know he came around with a nice kill there, so I don't want people to think I'm riding him too hard, but absolutely not. That was just a bad read on his part to not get the finish by rocket launcher.
Okay.
I mentioned that because, again, you know, he got away with it here, but you know, you do that, you know, multiple times in a tournament, you're not going to get away with it every time, especially as the skill level of the opponent keeps going up.
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree with that for sure. It's sort of like a fluke, you know, it's like a one trick and then done type deal. It's not something you really reuse ever.
shadows.
All day long.
Nice engage by Scissor.
Yeah, it's definitely, I don't remember the maps they played on last week, but I seem to recall, like, one of them, I seem to recall it being Scissor on Ruins that I was impressed by. And I was actually just sitting here looking that up.
Well, I want to see how Sane adjusts now. He lost his guy. He lost Anarchy. So, and this is not how you want to have to blow your Ghost Walk in a instead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one, he got caught because he had to blow his Ghost Walk defensively, which is never good. So now he's 50 health, just over 50 health, and then he went to very typical path to heavy armor, and Scissor just dropped on him. But
Prepare to fight.
excellent play by Scissor. Some mistakes there by Sane.
Round begins in
Except he really should have had that finish by rocket launcher, even though he got it in later. And I'm still seeing a bit of a drop off. I'm curious to see if he loses Anarchy early in a match. How does Sane, how does he react? It just seems to me, again, it just seems like the confidence isn't quite there with the other champions as it is with Anarchy. So
I would really like to see him not first pick, or at least not run Anarchy first in the round. I think maybe that's... Okay, rather, let me get to the point. Do you think a good way to train against that sort of like cornering yourself into one play style, is to make yourself not play it, obviously? Do you think that's effective?
Yes, I think you should play without Anarchy at all for a while for practice. Nice recognition there. Scissor did the opposite thing that Sane did in the other fight. He hit Sane with some good shots, recognized Sane was low, switched the machine gun, and got the finish. No need to go in there with a rail or another rocket. So there's good recognition there by Scissor to get a frag. Oh, nice Ghost Walk ambush. I love the rocket switch again. Scissor, just good change of pace there. Threw a couple rails at him. Sane might have been thinking, oh, he's going to throw another rail down. Nope, I'm dropping down a rocket right now. Aggressive, but a nice calculated risk. So I like plays like that. It's really good. It's playing slick right now.
Yeah, he's changing it up, kind of at this like perfect pace. And as you can see, opponent is not always able to keep
prepare
up.
to fight.
Yeah, Scissor looking good, looking really good. Even you can see the confidence is kind of growing. It's interesting when you get in a match with somebody, you can feel like, hey, I think I got this guy. You kind of get that confidence going along, and I think it really helps. My opinion, it's like psychology. It kind of helps with landing those shots. Next thing you know, your rails start landing, and you're feeling really good about yourself. Sane's got to make an adjustment for sure right now.
Impressive.
ScizR dangerously low. Sane not pushing, so I think just that right there sort of helps you see like how in his head this match has gotten. Just as it's progressed. Oh. If that rocket had been a little better, that could have been an okay trade. I like the Dire Orb to sort of like get around him, as opposed to just dying straight up. But yeah, having a rail at that tight corner, we've talked about it several times tonight. It's just not the best weapon to have coming around that corner.
No, I don't like rail running around with rail pretty much around any corner. It's more of it's obviously a long-range weapon, and if you don't know, especially if you don't know where your opponent is. I mean, if you know where your opponent is, fine. You know, run around with it, and you know they're not in any danger. Oh my gosh,
like
good
that.
Positioning. He was, yeah, just nowhere to go. Good finish, easy finish for a guy like Sane to hit those rockets like that. Oh, why?
This is mad. Okay, that's what happened. That's what happens.
All right. Nice. I'm glad he got that humiliation. But man, when he came around the corner with the peak rail, I was like, why? It's like, you had a rocket launcher, man. It's over right then and there, but it's okay. He got the kill. It just
it's like I've been waiting all night for it to happen, you know? And it's of course it's obviously an Anarchy that does it. If anybody's been playing this game for a while, you know how frustrating Anarchy with a gauntlet can be.
That was good. Sane needed some momentum. Really, really big round for him.
And this is a really good match to just sort of sit back and watch unfold, because these guys are adapting so quickly or so often to each other. This is one of my favorite duels today.
Man, Sane, bro. I know you watch these again. Like, you're killing me with these running around with the rail. Sane's looking in great shape right now. Oh, excellent shot.
Just like a really solid back and forth between these two guys.
Just has to be a little careful right now, because Visor being a little heavier than him, so just recognize that Visor can have his basic stack, and you can be overstacked with Anarchy, and you don't have that much more than he does. So Sane just needs to be careful not to get too ahead of himself. There's plenty of time left, so don't force a bad engagement.
Yep. Well, that's good. Yeah, just don't go up those stairs. And yep, I was about to say, pretty sure he read that one.
Nice finish. Sane making a great comeback here. This is
Yeah.
really good. ScizR really had him on the ropes this map, and Sane just pulled it together, and he's really on a run right now.
2, 1, fight.
And honestly, I'm sitting here trying to think, you know, who should change what strategy-wise. Both of them could make optimizations, but just playing it out exactly like this, I really think they're quite well matched for each other. This could go absolutely either way at any moment. Especially if one of them does crazy stuff like walk around a corner with a railgun every single time. Although he's been getting a little bit better, it seems. I think he's kind of catching on that that's not the winning strategy.
I mean, you could pull off some if you could pull off some great shots. I mean, there's people who do it. I just think consistently, you know, you want to put yourself in those good habits, because you're getting into this tournament structure. You're going to be going through the brackets. You're going to be playing better players, and all those little decisions you make are going to matter in the end. So it's just good to develop good habits, good good frag finishing habits.
Absolutely, because at the higher tiers of play, he's going to run into so many shafts and rockets and shotties at that range. He's just going to get murdered. Absolutely. But there's always a place for those guys that can hit the most insane shots to where it doesn't matter what range it is, you know? Getting some early damage on that Nyx, forcing the walk.
Oh, ScizR had a little oops there, navigational error.
Yeah. Probably didn't want to fall down there.
He's in a great spot right now.
Yeah, he's forced Sane to kind of slow his roll a little bit, you know?
He's just got to be careful, really trying to make sure he keeps that the Nyx Ghost Walk timing in the back of his head, you know, recognizing when it's going to be up, when it's down. So, because there's scenarios where, for especially Mega Health out here, it's good to push with Nyx, and you come around with a blind Ghost Walk so they can't see the mist. So, even though he may think he has an item for free, he's got to keep that head on a swivel right now and just be ready for an ambush.
Absolutely. I think he's playing with that in mind as well. You see how he's looking around the map, how he's moving. He's not overextending in any one direction. He's really taking his time.
Oh, he's in trouble. Sane was in big trouble there.
Yeah.
To that first rail. He traded.
I mean, that's the range where, you know, the LG is just beautiful. So why are you trying to rail each other?
And the position he was in, there was not a lot of avenues for escape, so
I could see it if you're like railing a Nyx to try to get her to pop Ghost Walk early, but if you're just going to be fighting at that range flat out, you know, Lightning I think is always going to output more DPS, unless you're just a rail god.
it's just anytime you're in a duel and you're within one rail hit of death, you should be very wary about taking any kind of engagement if you can help it, pretty much, because yeah, it really is a numbers game when you break it down.
Whoa. Walk straight out into
good
that
combo.
shaft.
And good finish.
Yeah.
Nice. I like it from ScizR. Just sometimes that rail of his would just go off, and then the recognition, you know, no funny business there. No rail, no rocket, just straight to machine gun, finish, get the kill. Don't even give the guy a chance. So ScizR looking strong this week.
Yeah, I'd see.
Just like last week.
Yeah, they both looked really good again. You know, it's just like they've both grown a little bit, and then, you know, I think ScizR was just a little bit further ahead on this particular matchup. Still very impressive. It's time to look and see if we have any other matches lined up for tonight. Let's see.
It's a good pick. I was about to say I'd be surprised if Sane didn't pick Corrupted Keep. Take the rail away from ScizR, force a RL and LG battle. I thought ScizR was really hitting some excellent rails to set up some engagements.
Yep, and I think I'm going to stick more on Sane this time around. See, check out his point of view, you know. I think I stuck on ScizR most of those last two, but the only map 3 of the night that I think we're going to see here on the stream, so. Wow, that's a heavy-duty team.
I like ScizR's lineup.
Yeah, that's really good.
Definitely like his lineup. Scale Bearer really shines on this map. Clutch really shines on this map. So I'm wondering how Sane's going to deal with this. Got a sore lag, but he's relatively light compared to ScizR, other than the Knicks.
Yeah, I think this. I think Keep was where I watched. I think it was an EU duel, where I first realized that I was underestimating Clutch so severely. And since then, you know, I've realized that I've also like been looking at Corrupted Keep maybe incorrectly. So I'm really curious to see how these guys are playing it. Very curious to see how these newer maps develop in the meta. Because I feel like we don't really understand them. You know, when the depth of champions plus the depth of maps, we're not quite there yet. So each and every one of these matches is just another opportunity for like innovation and to see some crazy new stuff that you haven't seen before. I love it. That's always good practice, trying to lead rockets on Anarchy, because if you can direct hit him, you can hit anything.
Sane got away with 1 health right there, so he's very fortunate to survive.
Yes, I would like to switch. Thank you. There we go. All right, switched over Sane. X-ray on. Time to see how this madman plays. Woo.
First blood.
Okay, just in time. And have you noticed that, by the way, whenever you rocket pop Clutch, if he's in the middle of his dodge, sometimes it just like throws him all over the map?
I have not noticed. Oh,
that's unfortunate.
This is I really like ScizR on this map because of the charge and his stack, and he can move around pretty well. You know, he's not terribly slow. And again, Sane has lost Anarchy, so I want to see how he adjusts.
I mean, he sticks with the Ranger with a pretty average stack and a movement mechanic. That's a nice little rocket. I didn't think he was going to get it through the window. He does so to great effect. But yeah, look at his lineup. You know, it's Anarchy, super fast-paced. Anarchy kind of speaks for itself right now in the meta. And then you got Ranger, which is like dead in the middle. And then you got Sorlag, which is just a tanky air move, kind of point-blank DPS style champion. So yeah. I have a tough time like figuring out exactly what this guy's playstyle is. Now that's a good ghost walk, an interesting one.
Well, it's definitely CPM Quake World. That's why he wants both the guys with air movement.
Yep. All right.
Nice. Very nice.
Prepare to fight.
Sane coming out strong.
Yeah, absolutely. Just no.
Round begins.
He was lucky to get away with that 1 health, but he turned that luck into, you know, rebuilding his stack and getting some frags. And also,
yeah, it seems like it kind of like jolted him into action. You know, he was like, "Whoa, I really got to do something now," and he just played it really calculated from then on out. Very impressive. Just both these guys, how much they've improved just in the last week. So
little foolish there by, you know, he had a shield up. He's too late. See, now it's too late. He really had an opportunity to use that earlier and push rather than allowing Sane to get all that LG damage on him like he did. Because that's where you really want to use the shield, is you want to get aggressive with that rocket launcher and really take the time, because you have the time with the shield to place your shots and do maximum damage.
Yep. It's usually not a luxury you have, point blank with a lightning gun.
Oh.
Maybe my kingdom's finally come.
Nice rockets by ScizR there.
Yeah, I think he kind of like finally got him dialed in, you know, like he had his number, and it just that he probably, I imagine if you were looking at ScizR in person sitting there, he had to crack a smile, watching that Anarchy just burst into nothing.
I'm really, my opinion, I'm just not a fan of Anarchy on this particular map. It's just my personal play preference.
It's just too risky.
It's the rockets, because you're getting into rocket battles the majority of the time on this map. So if you're gonna die in 2 well-placed shots, that's I mean, against a good player, I mean, it's highly likely at some point they're gonna hit you with 2 decent rockets. So
that's a good point. I really don't have a lot of play time on Keep, but I definitely see the argument, having played against a lot of Anarchies and really understanding how squishy he is. You don't want to put yourself into a position to even accidentally take damage at all.
Ooh.
Wow.
That was I know what he was going for. That was a nice idea, but he just didn't execute it. You know, Sane was backing off the mega health, and he took opportunity. ScizR did to push from above and not let him get the heavy armor, and he went for the charge, but then charged into the wall. You know, he missed some shots, missed the charge, and ended up toast.
Yeah, that's, you know, I mean, you like to see it when you're not the scale bearer, right? No one likes being bull rushed for a bazillion damage and thrown off a map or something equally annoying.
It was a good idea. He just didn't execute it properly, because that was certainly a kill opportunity. I can't argue with his logic there with what he did. It was unfortunate for him. I'm sure if he looks at the film or the video, and you know, he'll want that back. Not the decision per se, but the opportunity to get that frag.
Yeah, and do you think it was just timing? Like, I guess in the context, he maybe could have gone for that a little bit earlier, or waited a little bit longer off that position.
No, I just think he just bricked it.
Oh, okay.
he just bricked an open look. That's all that happens.
Oh, gotcha. These guys really going at it. Second round here.
Oh, this is a good engage. No, go all the way up.
Wow, really?
I almost thought he was gonna ghost walk and go all the way up on him. Not. Oh.
Oh. Yeah, you don't want to hit a pad whenever your opponent's got a shaft out. Like, it's not gonna end well for you.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to go up and jump pad, and you'd already been hit, and you kind of went up that jump pad low, and just got finished by Sane. Unfortunate, because it looked like ScizR was getting some momentum there, and he might look like he's going to tie it up. So, you know, Sane's got him on the ropes right now on this map.
Absolutely. And so I don't know if he intentionally went off the jump pad, by the way. It's worth noting that the rockets that were fired on his right, technically, but our left on the screen could have popped him over into the jump pad. So it's something that I'd be curious to see, because I don't think he doesn't strike me as the type of player that would just make that obvious mistake, you know, after coming all this way.
No, I mean, you can make safe assumptions that they're getting fooled based on other information that they thought they heard him in this area, or these guys are making decisions, and sometimes you make the wrong decision and somebody catches you off guard. It happens to the best of them. ScizR is in a really great position right now. I really like the clutch play, the clutch pick. Should be using his shield right now. Yep, getting in his face. Look at that! Look at that! See that? Easy money. Had all the time in the world to make that kill happen. That's what I really love about clutch on this map.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that. It's actually like stress-free whenever you play clutch right. It's just so easy.
Yeah, he's just a beast. Just avoid straight LG hit scan type battles. LG or railgun battles if you can.
Oh, disgusting nail gun.
And that's the big danger, is because you are the size of a house and you catch everything that's thrown at you. And
yeah, and armor penetration's higher on the nail gun actually, so it's pretty much
Sane just caught him off guard coming around like that. He wasn't ready for him at all.
Yeah, and point blank, new fire rate, new damage. I mean, it's an anti-robot cannon.
See, with Sane's background, especially because he's so good with Anarchy, I'm surprised he doesn't just come out the gate with Sorlag more often here. It's real tanky, the acid spit's disruptive, and it has that air movement he loves so much. So I think he might want to go with maybe Sorlag a little more often here. This is his initial pick, but I can understand why he picks Anarchy first, because, again, play a little theory crafting is that you're not getting the real benefit off his boost HP if you don't start him early. So
yeah, and there's definitely no guarantee that you're not going to spawn into a very unfavorable stack position if you play Anarchy later in your lineup. So I would like to see it, though. I have to agree with you. I don't think playing Anarchy first every single time is necessarily beneficial.
And opponents can play off of that. It becomes predictable, and I just think it's good to keep your opponent guessing and have a more versatile approach to your champion selection.
So that goes a really long way in this game. That mental aspect, that duel. It's a real 1v1 of wow.
Oh,
that's what we were talking about earlier. Don't chase.
Yeah, yeah, ScizR made an error there. I mean, he knew he was low, but ran right into some rockets and acid spit.
And so much damage coming out of Sorlag. If you hit even you know, those projectiles got lowered to 20 damage, I think, from 30. And even then, that's plenty of damage.
25 actually for the directs. But yeah, he had Sane on the ropes, but good. You got to give Sane credit. It's good defensive rockets and a good defensive acid spit.
Oh no, I think he played it perfectly. I mean, he just baited him right on in, used all the tools at the right time. Completely deserved that.
One-minute warning.
ScizR's got to be careful without this ghost walk coming around the wrong corner right now. Uh-oh. Oh! Sane was uh-oh. Oh, boy. Oh, he missed.
Such a narrow margin.
Oh, that's a big turnaround for ScizR.
Ah.
Sane's in a world of hurt right now.
Yeah, especially killing all of his momentum on that jump. Did not do what he wanted to do there.
He needs to be just thinking about these regular health bubbles and the light armors right now. Just to get, I mean, because he can get 100 HP. I mean, 100 armor, just the light armor. So,
Oh, yeah.
being a little passive right now and making that Nyx come into is probably a good idea. And if you're the Nyx, you're looking just for one good ghost walk opportunity. One good ghost walk ambush. Close the show.
Absolutely. I think, honestly, I'd feel a little bit better if I was the Nyx. I think that's a better offensive and defensive tool than just Acid Spit, you know? We'll see how he plays it. Just can't get too overconfident in a situation like that, even if you do have the advantage on paper.
Sane did a good job. He's back up to it's ticking down, but about 280 total stack right now. So using.
Oh, interesting. It's not entirely common to even hit those completely vertical shots with Spit, but he was able to land one. Just trying to get a little more speed through the door, ends up wasting like 25 on the stack just to get through that room a little faster. And see, now this is where the movement really pays off. You know, that's where the little min-max, you know, trade 15 or 20 on the stack to move really comes into play, because he was able to get around.
I like the push. You know, recognizing one, he got back control, so that was important. The way he did it. Remember, I mentioned earlier he was kind of low, so he needed to be careful and avoid engagement, which he did, and he got a stack back up. And then when he had an opportunity to push, he pushed. You know, he recognized that Nyx didn't have the ghost walk again. And, you know, one of the things about Nyx people need to recognize, once she uses it, that's it. It's down for a little bit. So that's your opportunity to really make plays on her and get aggressive, which he did. And it put ScizR in a bad spot. So a good win by Sane there. Really good win.
Yeah, I like how he held it together. You know, they've both played really well throughout the whole series. And I think Sane, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but he had a larger deficit to overcome at one point. And like didn't crack under pressure, it felt like. So, but I'm sure we're gonna see ScizR next week. You know.
ScizR.
What did I say? It's so easy to make a mistake now.
Yeah,
ScizR. That's what it is, right? ScizR.
Yeah, ScizR.
Yeah. Was that? I'm sorry. Am I just insane? Was that not the third map?
No, it was not. It's 1-1 now. So this is ScizR's pick.
Well, rough times, Mac. I'm losing it. I'm losing it. I really, I thought we started that off with Blood Run. I thought we went Blood Run, Ruins, Corrupted Keep. But ignore me. Well, that's fine with me. This is a badass matchup. I'm actually totally okay with seeing another map.
I figured ScizR would definitely go back to a map with the railgun, and this is a Blood Covenant is certainly an effective rail map. The rail could, I mean, I know it can make a difference on every map, but in this map, you really can control the map, especially if somebody doesn't have one. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's a lot of peeking opportunities and for both major items with the railgun here, and especially the open area and mid, and it's just an effective weapon in this arena.
Yeah, I think this is probably where he feels most at home in the current map pool, if we're looking at it from a rail perspective. We'll see. I mean, pretty standard draft coming out of him. Ranger Nix Visor up against Anarchy Nix Ranger. So.
Yeah, it seems like they're just going with what's most comfortable. ScizR has a little variation there. You can see from the map, right? So, which I think is a better long-term strategy. I think your champion pick should be a little based on the map and not just on what you're comfortable with, because that to me implies that you're not comfortable with all the champions and lacking a little bit of versatility in that department. It could come back to haunt you. Oh, missed by ScizR. He went to slipgate to the rail after heavy armor, and he missed that.
Yep. Actually going to switch over to the Anarchy, see how he's using it, see if he's able to maintain discipline as this duel goes on. That's another thing that we don't ever really touch on is physical fatigue, depending on the champion you're playing. Certain champions, you have greater arm movements in terms of arcs. I don't know if that really factors in for these guys, because it's not like they're playing a 5-hour-long or 4-hour-long match of, just name any other competitive game that can go that long. I think, do you feel like in the current format the duels are short enough that you don't really run into a problem where you're like, oh, I'm physically actually exhausted? Do you think it's kind of the actual perfect portion, so to speak?
I think it can run a little long if you have a really, let's just say it goes into many sudden deaths, and you're doing best of 3 maps, and that's a lot of Quake to play all in one sitting. So it can get physically, I guess, demanding in terms of just sitting there and going through the motions of playing nonstop without a break. I mean, it gets to me more now than I guess it used to.
Yeah.
but I think it's more mentally fatiguing than anything.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's what I feel the most, I think, is a very serious mental fatigue, because each one of your champion lives in duels is that much more impactful, so it's every single decision just becomes more important, more stressful or gratifying depending on the outcome. That's smart. Sane going back to check for the peak. I think he's got a really good idea of how ScizR would play this map. And he's sort of seeing it through his own eyes, seeing it through his lens, making some really good reads here.
Well, he's got both items on lock. ScizR just needs he needs a slow play him right now. Oh,
beautiful.
Great rails by Sane. Got to be careful running down that area. It makes a lot of noise, and it's easy for somebody to do the drop down shots like you just saw Sane do. So it's one of those areas you just got to take care going around the whole LG area. Oh my goodness. What was Sane thinking?
He must not have been thinking he's got a railgun.
What was Sane thinking right there? That's very foolish.
Yeah, especially with no movement speed. I mean, he just basically popped himself straight up in the air.
Good read by ScizR. Good rocket having it waiting over there.
Yep. Look at this. I mean, just like a book.
Quick turnaround now. So you got to be careful making plays like that. You make a little error in this game, and that's the wrap. Just like that, it's a wrap. It's amazing. It's one of the things I love about this new Quake. Man, you make an error, and all of a sudden it can snowball. And it's like bye that round. You can just kiss it goodbye. I mean, that's
round 2.
You used to see 2, 3, 4, maybe 5, or worst case 6 spawn kills if you really messed up in Quake 3 Arena. But then you could bring it back. But here, I think it is much more punishing.
Oh, good rails.
Good
Sane.
That's all I needed. It's the icing on the cake.
Switch the machine gun, Sane. For the love of God, please. Just one kill. Please, please. Just switch the machine gun, please. I'm begging you, dude.
Well, we'll see if you.
I mean, hey, don't get me wrong. I love the Hollywood of railing somebody with 20 health, but come on, man.
What? Didn't even look like it connected on the second one. And it looks like he's running through an exercise routine right now.
Ooh, that was a big ghost walk. He avoided some damage there.
And the question is, did he put himself in a favorable position afterwards?
Small area, same. We just realized that Mega's not coming for him.
Yeah. Ooh.
Nice play by ScizR. Really
Yeah.
good. Just the ghost walk after the rail and to be aggressive, and Sane made a little miscalculation there too. Should have kind of read that he wasn't in a good position to go hard for that heavy armor after getting shot like that. So good play by ScizR. With a poor decision by Sane to keep staying aggressive when he clearly should have went passive, and got yourself a frag, a tie game.
This I stand by what I said earlier. Definitely my favorite duel of the night, just in terms of this actual matchup. These guys are really good at adapting to one another, but ScizR's kind of running away with it in my eyes. Not completely, but he's made some pretty insane plays so far here on Covenant.
Really evenly matched. Sane just needs to work on cleaning up some of these mental decisions he's making.
Yeah, it does seem like he's just looking the wrong way at the wrong time more often than not. And that's a combination of his mistakes and ScizR just kind of playing him into that corner. I guess he had to walk there. Otherwise, he just takes probably lethal damage. Okay.
You can just kind of see with the way Sane moves around and just the way he plays. Not quite the speed demon anymore, is he?
No, he's not. And I can't figure out if that's fatigue or him just.
Painful to be a dream.
I really think it's him losing anarchy. I really think it messes with him.
Yeah,
that
was weird.
Good play by ScizR. Way to jump down with the rocket there. I mean, Sane's making some mental mistakes, and he's capitalizing. I mean, that's part of it too. Is he's got to have the skills to recognize and capitalize. It's a close match, but overall, ScizR's just being more steady here with the play.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that 1000%. Very consistent, kind of calm, calculated approach. It's really running away with this. You see some insane rails. I was saying there in the very beginning. That's enough to bring him down.
I got a machine gun out of Sane. He must have heard me.
Yeah. Oh. Kind of surprised. Honestly, never thought that would happen. Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting here like watching him very intently when he plays his anarchy. The mouse movement, the decision making is all so dramatically different. It's like he is anarchy, and then if he doesn't have anarchy, he's just like a pretty good Quake player. Not quite that anarchy Quake player. Or at least that's how he probably, how he might feel.
Big mega health grab there by Sane. It's a good defensive rail by ScizR to keep him from charging from rocket launcher, but they end up falling down, and it's really aggressive there by Sane. It was good aggression though. It was a way to get the kill there. ScizR was definitely on his heels.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of like the beginning of this round. He saw that he had a mathematical advantage, and he just pressed that advantage slowly but surely without overextending, and he's pulling ahead because of these decisions. Just smarter decision making.
Yeah, now he wants to get that beam line over there to Mega Health, or the heavy armor.
Oh yeah. Now,
Yeah, oh, he's the Scissors. Oh, he almost caught ScizR because he missed the first one.
Yeah, that could have been devastating.
Yep.
This could probably be it though.
Yeah, that's definitely it. All right. All right. Could get ourselves. I don't know. We may go to 5 rounds here. Good comeback from Sane. He really needed that round because it would have been over. But just to kind of get him back on track. ScizR had some momentum. Definitely had some momentum going for him. So I'm curious now. See. Oh, just missed it.
Yeah, I think he needs the confidence. Yeah, I really think he just needs that confidence boost, sort of reassure himself that, you know, this is a good lineup, that he could play without Anarchy, but the better option seems to be just don't die as Anarchy.
I like what ScizR's doing here. Even those little bit of 10s. Look at it. Oh.
Yeah, beautiful.
I like what ScizR is doing there. It's a little bit damage. Any chance he got, he pulled out the heavy machine gun and just lining him up for 10s, right? And it's Anarchy. So I mean, you line him up with some of these little streams, 40 here, 30 there, 50. I mean, you're whittling him down to nothing. He can't sit there and have that engagement too long. So I like what ScizR's doing here, and he's got a Sane off his Anarchy now, which is huge.
Yeah. And he went Nyx as the second pick, which I think he's done every time, except maybe once or twice as an exception.
Got away with he didn't get away with it. It's jumping down with rail like that. You got to be wary about going in for a highlight shot like that, especially in a scenario where if you miss, what was his plan if he missed? I know a lot of top players. I'm not gonna miss. What's a miss? That's a very common thought for guys like this. What's a miss? But if you do miss, what's your plan? And he didn't really have a good one there.
Stopwatch.
It's like ScizR setting up same ambush he did earlier. Oh, and it worked again.
Yeah, I was just sitting here thinking, like, I was comparing Nick styles, and I noticed the same thing. Walked right into it, didn't he?
That was literally the same ambush he ran into earlier. So ScizR going with it until if it doesn't go with it until it doesn't work. Now this is where Sane's definitely going to be feeling some pressure right now. He's got about 2.5 minutes to go, shortly to be 2 minutes. And he's down a champ, so he knows. And those don't make pushing it easier.
Yeah, pressure is on. No doubt about that.
Great play.
Yeah.
I like it. ScizR, looking strong. Looking strong.
Yeah, Blood Covenant, man, he plays really consistent on that map.
Even just there recognizing that killer instinct I was alluding to earlier about how he could have ran away and just got mega health if he wanted to. He could have took off. No, I'm just going to keep my stack and make sure he doesn't get anything. But he's like, you know what, I'm going to take some peek shots here because I know he's in a poor spot and low, and one shot will get the kill. And if I don't get the kill, and if he hits me or whatever, you notice he had himself in a position where he could back off, he could retreat. So if it doesn't work out for him, he still had an avenue to retreat and grab the mega health. That's just good, smart, intelligent play.
Yep, and he was able to make it after a pretty lengthy night of playing, I imagine. Probably been going for at least a few hours straight here. but I believe that puts him in top 16, right? I'm fairly certain that that put him in top 16.
For Scissor, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to check the updated brackets, but I am pretty sure that does put him around the 16. So that was a good win. Sane is really talented as well, and just I don't know. It's hard to put a finger on it, you know. When I'm watching him play, it really is. It's just obvious. There's obviously a drop off when he loses Anarchy, and that's just something he really needs to address. He really needs to address that. And then there's some other things. If I rewatch, I really need to rewatch the game. If I was gonna point out some little decisions, but definitely the weapon selection, trying to finish people with 12 health, 20 health, you know, with the third rail shot after you've already railed them twice in a row. These are decisions that are really going to hurt you as you try to progress through a tournament. You miss a shot here, you miss a shot, and then next thing you know, you eat 100 damage rocket. You just don't want to give these opportunities to these type of opponents. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Is if you have an opportunity to finish, you finish as quickly and efficiently as possible.
Yep. The higher the skill level, the faster you're going to lose that opportunity, essentially. So you got to be there to seize it. I believe we're going to be getting into our last match of the night. I believe. Lost Cause versus Gloat. I think